When it came to politics, 2006 was really the year of digital rhetoric. It wasn't stirring presidential oratory or speeches in courtrooms and legislatures that mattered. It was the availability of digital information through distributed computer networks that impacted American political history. In the past, there were big media stories about political scandals, which were revealed by bloggers, or exposed when digital images or video files were leaked to the public. But these events didn't really alter the course of actual elections. Despite the activities of largely democratic, internet-based organizations like MoveOn.org, all through 2005, not much changed on the political landscape. This remained true even after Hurricane Katrina, when a video conference showed emergency management experts digitally warning the president about an impending catastrophe that he subsequently denied knowing about. And embarrassing emails, which were sent during the disaster by the head of FEMA, the Federal Crisis Agency, were revealed by the press. In universities, digital rhetoric had been a subject studied by a relatively small number of professors since the 1990s, but it wasn't seen as particularly relevant to the political life of the mainstream. Many scholars now think that all that has changed with the rise of social media and participatory file-sharing culture. In the United States, mistakes made in digital rhetoric might have reversed party control of both houses of Congress this year. In the House, sexually explicit instant messages sent to underage congressional pages caused Representative Mark Foley, a closeted homosexual Republican, to resign. Shortly afterward, Newsweek magazine reported that polls showed party leadership had lost trust as a result of the scandal. Their predictions of large-scale voter disenchantment would prove prophetic. In the 2006 November election, Democrats won a majority in the House. The incoming Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, had also used YouTube and other websites popular with young voters to ensure a successful campaign, which was otherwise determined largely by the public referendum on the unpopular war in Iraq. The Senate race was also impacted by digital rhetoric. Incumbent Republican Senator George Allen was caught on tape calling a campaign worker from the challenger's team a macaca, which was interpreted by many as a racial slur. Thanks to easy digital distribution, the video was viewed by thousands on YouTube, and it became a national news story for broadcast and print media. Allen ultimately lost the race, and the Senate went to the Democrats by 1 vote. Some would argue that in April, comedian Stephen Colbert set the stage by ridiculing the president at the annual White House Correspondents' Roast. It was broadcast by the government network C-SPAN, but more Americans saw it on the web as a video with viral popularity. Of course, not all elections were changed by digital rhetoric in 2006. The governor of California was caught making racial generalizations about a Latina lawmaker in audio files accidentally posted to an official website.
Puerto Rican are the same thing as Cuban. I mean, they all are very hot. They have the Protestant black blood in them.
Although the governor's office accused rivals of hacking into their system, their fears turned out to be ungrounded. Arnold Schwarzenegger easily won the race. And former Virginia Governor Mark Warner pulled out of the 2008 presidential race, despite generally positive reactions to his pro-technology speeches. After 2 stump appearances as a digital avatar in the computer-generated online community Second Life. And despite gains by the Democrats in 2006, elected officials still often didn't seem to the public to know very much about the media they were regulating. According to a recent Zogby poll, the vast majority of Americans think that the average 12-year-old knows more about the internet than their congressional representative. Just 1 in 10 thinks their congressperson knows more about communication technology than a typical preteen. In May 2006, the House Intelligence Committee was embarrassed by the fact that they did not realize that what they were told was a terrorist video game that had been modded by jihadist radicals was actually an innocent fan film made from snippets of the video game Battlefield 2 with a soundtrack that included audio from the parody movie Team America. Terrorists weren't the only boogeymen when it came to the anxieties of elected officials about the internet and ubiquitous computing. 2006 was a year in which Congress passed significant legislation restricting common activities in digital culture. aimed against certain kinds of file sharing, video game play, and online social networking, often in the stated interest of protecting the young from sexual predators. Misstatements about the Internet by Aging Commerce Committee Chairman Senator Ted Stevens invited laughter on talk shows and several parody remixes. Nonetheless, well-coordinated online campaigns to ensure network neutrality, an issue Stevens opposed, were often frustrated this year. Finally, despite the publicity for high-tech video games and simulations designed to show that military planners were tackling problems facing soldiers in Iraq, it seems like the American public remains skeptical about the war at the end of 2006. This is Elizabeth Losh from the University of California at Irvine, signing off for the year.